now, so you have to get an architect. Let's say that you have a deck that's not legal, you don't have a C of O for it. Architect like John has to draw up plans. You have to submit the plans to the building inspector. It typically sits on his desk for several weeks. Even influential local real estate attorneys such as myself or influential realtors frequently don't have the pull to move things along that we used to, because these files just sit around. So what happens is, while the seller is waiting to legalize all of these title defects, now the buyer has not only gotten their mortgage commitment, but that they have rate lock deadlines. So you can see the problems of a seller who really isn't fully legal. So that's one bit of advice I can give to sellers, either through your real estate attorney or through your real estate broker. Make sure that your title is clean, especially in particular if you've owned the house for years and years, because it really can screw up the closing. It takes a long time for the work to be done. Maybe someone like Neil has to go in there and rewire electrical. You've done that for clients of mine for decks and things. Vinny, God knows you've done work on decks and additions and things, and that takes time. And then you have to get the building department down and inspect it, re-inspect, final approval. If electrical work was done, you have to get the Board of Fire underwriter, Terry Parlin or his equivalent in, and they have to inspect it and sign off on it. So all this takes time, and meanwhile the buyers, the buyers need to close. And keep in mind, there's always a chain reaction too. You have a buyer buying a property from a seller. What is that seller doing? Well, he's, in all likelihood, he may be buying something else from another seller who may be moving down. So it's a whole string of events sometimes. Or you have a buyer who's renting, and let's say their lease expires September 30th, so they have to be out. Now that their lease expires, the seller is still bogged down in legalizing all these things I mentioned. So you can see the potential problems that come up. And there's always the unexpected too. I mentioned this once before. I always love this story. We had a life coach in this chapter a long time ago, and I had the privilege of doing his real estate closing, and we had a walkthrough issue at the closing. He had two cats, and he couldn't get one of the cats out. He couldn't take his own cat physically out of the apartment. So when the buyers came in to do their walkthrough, there was this cat there, so we had to escrow money to have someone go get this cat, his own cat. The life coach. I don't know, it was vicious.
Should have gotten a cat coach.
It was a vicious cat.